everyone. So today I'm joined by Shaun Hurtado, principal of La Loma Junior High School in Modesto, California, to talk about how he's implemented fundamental practice number one, the impeccable office, combined with his use of a mobile desk to make sure he's out and about in his school. Welcome, Shaun.
Thank you, Jill. Yeah. So, like I said, I've even asked my boss to get rid of my office. I don't want one. I've asked basically for a phone booth that if I need to go in and make a phone call or send a private email, I have a space to do it because as a leader, I shouldn't be in my office. I got to be out with my people in the classroom with the students. And so, yeah, still have my conference. My office is a conference room. Like I said, I try to make it as uncomfortable for myself as possible. I even have a metal chair just to make sure I'm up and about. And so, yeah, there's 2 days a week dedicated at the mobile desk. It still allows me to do the work that I need to do, but be present with my kids in the hallway, available with my staff. And then it sets me up to be in the practice of getting out of my office. So there's the other 2, 3 days a week. I'm out of my office more than anybody I know. The biggest compliment that I've gotten since taking the breakthrough coach is that when my directors come look for me, they tell me they can't find me in my office. And to me, that is the power of the coaching and being out and about with your people, because you shouldn't be in your office where you can be found.
So let me ask a couple of questions. How long, because I'm sure our audience wants to know this, how long did it take you and what was the process for creating the impeccable conference room that you've got around you now?
It was really diving in during the training and ripping everything out of here. If it doesn't belong, it doesn't belong, and get it out of there. I have literally one memento that reminds me of my kids, and I look at it and I take the thing that, hey, I'm not here to be with looking at this. I need to be at home looking at my kids. And so that is the one memento that I have that's a personal thing. And it looks at me every day and it says world's best father. But the only way I can be the world's best father is if I'm there with my kids and not at work looking at my little statue.
Very good. Very good. All right. So tell me, let's explain this in full. So how many days are you now, or we can do days, we can do hours of the day, but how many days of the week do you actually get out of your office without the mobile desk? So you're just out present either in classrooms or in the hallways. How many days a week?
That would be so Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays are my non-desk days. And then I would say
And how many hours? How
on
many
the
hours?
average, I would say 3 to 4 hours out of my office every
Okay.
one of those days in a 6 hour workday. So sometimes I got to come in and do it. And majority of those times in my office is a meeting that I'm having with a teacher, a parent, a staff member, or something like that. And then I'm right back out into the hallway where I need to be.
Okay. And then how many days a week are you out of the office with the mobile desk? So you're out and you're about, but you're not necessarily all eyes and hands on, right? You're present in the environment, but
Yeah.
you're doing office work while you're doing
That's
it.
Tuesdays and Thursdays. And I start that first thing when I get to the office. I pull out my desk, I bring it out where I'm greeting parents and students. And so I'm in the front of the school with my mobile desk by 8 o'clock in the morning and giving high fives and fist bumps, but still able to answer my emails and do my thing and be present. And then if I need to step away and have a conversation with somebody, I'm right there. They don't have to come into the office and find me. It facilitates those conversations and I can actually answer most questions before the parents get into the office. So the office ladies can continue to do their work and only take the things that I can't handle in that moment.
Wow. Okay, great. That's pretty powerful. So from being out of your office so much, whether you're just out and about without the mobile desk or with the mobile desk, what are there certain results that the school has produced since you started this practice that you say, I attribute that to being out? This
Yeah.
happened because I was out. And
Yeah.
it could be, it could be something about student outcomes. It could be discipline down. It could be, right, like all the things that are impacted, culture measures because you're out.
Yeah,
What
I would say so. There's a couple of things. Before I took over at La Loma, I would say, unfortunately, there was probably a negative reputation of the school. The last 2 years since I started being out of my desk, we've won been nominated the best junior high in Modesto 2 years in a row. Looking for our year number 3 this year. Our population continues to increase. And so this year we gained 50 students from last year. So in declining enrollment, our enrollment continues to go up. Our achievement numbers go up, so our test scores continue to improve. And even with the climbing enrollment, the discipline numbers continue to go down. So a lot of this is just, I attribute to just being out and about, being available. So the kids know who you are, the parents know who I am, and staff don't have to come find me. They know that Mr. Hurtado is right where he's supposed to be in the hallway or pushing it around. It also allows me to address those areas of need. So kids are like water, right? They find the easiest path of resistance. And so when I find out kids are maybe going over here, guess what? The very next day, that's where I'm posted up with my mobile desk, and the kids don't go there anymore. And it's amazing. So it really helps with all aspects of my school. Like I said, with my office staff, I think being more efficient, even myself being more efficient, even with the days I'm out and about, and the overall culture of my school is definitely improved.
Okay, let me ask a backtracking question
Yes.
that just occurred to me as I was listening to you. How did you explain this to central office so they got on board with this versus going, wait a second, what are you doing? How did you get?
Yeah, so luckily, it was really hard with the mobile desk at first. I'm not gonna lie. I had to go through a furniture approval process, and anybody that knows, trying to buy something that's not approved is difficult. So I started with a podium desk with just a simple up and down. Didn't meet my needs, and showed that, hey, my computer can fall off. All these things, like I need something more secure. So they allowed me to buy a tech cart, right? But it was like a science tech cart. It didn't really work. It didn't have a battery. So I always had to have a long extension cord everywhere I went. And then luckily the director of technology came by one day and saw me on this contraption that I had made to make sure that I could be out on my desk. And he's like, he asked me what I'm trying to do. And he had actually gone through the breakthrough coach when he was an administrator. And he was like, hey, you know what? If you're really trying to do that, let me see what I can put together. And so they went out and bought me it's like a warehouse cart that has a battery on the bottom, and then they fashioned kind of an arm with the 2 screens, so I can have my 3 screens. It's battery operated. It's got soft wheels, so I can literally go anywhere on campus. But I had somebody that went through it. But before I got to that person, I just kept asking, like, this is what I'm trying to do. And when I got the no, it was okay. What'll get me the yes? Okay, a podium desk. I will be happy to start with a podium desk. Used it
Well,
for
what
a
I
couple.
love is you just wouldn't stop. You
Yeah,
you you knew what was right for your school, for your kids, and for you, and you just wouldn't take no for an answer.
yeah,
And then because you kept going like that, eventually you found a partner. You found somebody
yes,
who you didn't have to answer the question or figure it all out by yourself, right?
yeah,
You were able to make a request of somebody else, and they said, here's what I can contribute.
exactly.
Helped you find your way through, which is
Yeah,
really, yeah, you don't have to do it by yourself.
yeah. And then he saw me because I was out fumbling around with my mobile desk, right? And so being out there, and once again, like you said, not taking no for an answer, because it is best for kids. It's going to be best for your campus, and ultimately it's going to be best for us as the leaders of the school. And so, yeah, don't take no for an answer, and just continue to show why you need what you need. And ultimately, hey, I the tech cart I bought with my own money, site money, and so I was financially invested and still was able to show, like, hey, I need something more. And I was able to, like you said, get that partnership to get what we needed.
Well, and now you have the results in I always say to people, when you're producing the result, nobody questions it, right? So now you're producing the result. Now it's just like, oh, but of course,
Yeah.
Shaun, what else do you need, right? When you're
Yeah.
producing the result, there's a lot less friction.
Yeah, and now we kind of have there is a standardized stand-up desk that we can look at in Modesto City Schools now. So
There's a product the school
yeah.
district could sell. There you go.
And we have a high school administrator that's taking it on, and we also have a couple elementary administrators that haven't taken the training. I'm telling them, hey, you got to get into the training. But if a good start is the mobile desk, so we have now administrators across Modesto out on mobile desks doing their thing.
Do you know, I recently led a conference session in Arizona this was back in June, where I introduced the idea of the impeccable office, and somebody said to me in the room, "What do you think about the idea of the mobile desk?" And I said, "Where do you think that idea came from? Who do you think is the originator of the idea of the mobile desk?" After hearing this conversation. And she went, "Huh?"
You're
I'm like,
like, yeah.
our clients took the idea and ran with it. And
Yep.
that's why you know about the mobile desk today. Well, Shaun, thank you. This has been such a delightful conversation. I wish you all the best with your upcoming school year. And thanks for taking the time to talk to all of us.
Of course. Thank you. Anytime. Have a great day.